Well, hello guys, welcome back to the channel. And today, late again, but rather late than never. Sorry about that, my voice cracked out of nowhere. But worry not about that because today I bring you not a single review but a double review and two videos. Because today I bring you the review of this week's and last week's chapter of Fairy Tail and the Seven Deadly Sins. Now, before we begin, some apologies. Yes, I know I am a week late on both Fairy Tail and the Seven Deadly Sins. The reason being I was lazy. I was feeling very lazy and I didn't feel like recording last week. This is the truth. I am completely honest with you guys. I was feeling quite lazy. I I entered on a break last week. It's about to end, sad face. But I entered on a break from my internship last week and I was like, just let it roll, and it rolled until this week. And why am I late this week as well? Because, well, I had some, not problems, but some situations, and I wasn't entirely able to record. So, yes. But I'm here, as I said at the beginning of the video, rather late than never. So let us begin Fairy Tail 478 and 479 of their respective names, Stealth and, let me check, those who you should show the greatest respect to is. That's a mouthful. About these two chapters, just out of the basket, one word for them: utter disappointment. Two words actually. Utter disappointment. I didn't hate them completely, but I didn't enjoy them one bit. They were meh. You know, they were those chapters where you were like meh. Because the 478 for me was the worst out of the two. Because not only it had one of the biggest disappointments for me of Fairy Tail this year, which was Jacob's. I mean, I was expecting that guy to be a serious guy, much like Di Maria. Di Maria was a serious fighter. She did not make foolish moves like Jacob did. She was a serious fighter. Even Brandish, who came out to be a little bit of a foolish character, when she fought really seriously. Now Jacob, he appeared like that old guy, like all cool and stuff, making everyone disappear, and then he goes and does something like that. I mean, yes, of course, Fairy Tail is known for his immense and sometimes over exaggerating fan service. And yes, all of us fans, we all love our fan service from now on, don't lie, you at home. But I mean, I believe that there are limits for the fan service. And a situation like this, I believe, was not the moment for a fan service. Because, my god, the entire guild had disappeared. 200 and something or more. I don't even remember. Members of the guild, Brandish and Mandarin, the other guy with Brandish included. But it was supposed to be a desperate situation, but no. Jacob just had to go and like, oh, this is a super awesome move that you're gonna feel so embarrassed, and in the end, he's the one who gets to be embarrassed. I mean, the fight started well enough with Natsu and Jacob actually exchanging a few strikes, punches, kicks, and everything. But then it's as I said, and I'm sorry for focusing on this matter a lot because chapter 478 really hasn't a lot more to focus on because it was Jacob versus Natsu and Lucy. And I was enjoying the fight up until the moment where he decided to do that. And again, I'm not saying it was bad or anything, but I just wasn't expecting, and I didn't want Jacob's character to have a personality like this because let us be honest. In my opinion, the Spring and 12 are falling way too fast. We had like what? One was defeated by Acknowledge, God Serena, supposedly the strongest mage of Fiore's continent. No, not Fiore's continent, but of the Eastern continent. He was supposedly the strongest mage, and yeah, he falls like that to Acknowledge, one strike, one hit KO, and no, no explanation, nothing. Then we had Di Maria, who fell by the hands of Shelia. We had the guy that fell by Lax's hand. I forgot his name. I am so sorry. Volts. That's it. Volts. We had Volts falling by Natsu's hand. Now, who else? Brandish was sort of defeated by Lucy, Kana, and Aquarius. She was imprisoned. More better to say. I don't remember if that guy who was with her actually is part of the Spring and 12. I don't even remember. So far, four Spring and 12s. I believe there's more I'm going to remember when I get to the next chapter. But for me, they are falling way too fast. I mean, these were supposed to be, if not the ultimate, the pre-ultimate enemies of Fairy Tail and the remaining mages. And okay, we have Zaref left, we have August left. Who else? We have the guy, the mystery guy who wears and the Kaya and Zerala are going up against. We still have to see that guy. So we have at least three left. We have the guy that's with Zaref, I don't remember his name. And yes, there might be some more left, either on the defeated side or the still up against side. But I'm thinking that these battles are going way, way too fast. And we see the battle against Jacob is yet another one of those. Because after this chapter, Lucy even summons Loki, who, for me, is, I don't know, Loki is an overestimated character for me because we have yet to see him fight seriously, I believe, because it appears that every time he appears, he just does that shining ray attack, who does nothing, as far as I know. And then he goes and punches, kicks, but then, yeah, takes a punch and oh my god, he's so strong. Oh, Lucy, but you're so beautiful, holding me in your arms, and he disappears. It's kind of like Taurus, really. But let's not talk about the celestial spirits now. I have a lot to say about celestial spirit magic, but maybe I do a separate video on that at a later date. And then Jacob even has some not the invisible knives, but he makes the knives invisible and throws them. It's a fearsome opponent. I thought, my God, this guy is gonna this guy is the villain. Is the villain that's gonna give them a lot of work. But no, yes, expectations never go as we want, really. And now it gets to the point where he starts making Lucy's clothes disappear. As I said, fan service is a prominent pillar of fairy tales story in general, but I believe there's a limit, and Hiro Mashima crossed that limit way, way back. There's not even a line, really. That's a dot in the horizon. That's the limit. If you look at the horizon and you see a little speck of dust, that's Fairy Tail's fan service limit. And Hiro Mashima went totally overboard on that. Because it's enough that we have that on a calmer situation, on when they are just going to a mission or coming from a mission, on those slow movement, on those slow parts of the story. But in the middle of a battle against an opponent that was supposed to be fearsome, I was like, meh, really? So yes, about 478, this is really what I have to say. I will not go any further than this because there's really nothing else. We see Jacob with his face all like, oh no, 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 I can't look. There's a semi-naked lady in front of me. And Natsu begins to make things up like she's stripping or anything, so that Jacob is confused. And then they get up and Lucy kicks him, Natsu kicks him, and Jacob falls back and he's like, "Oh God, now you really pissed me off." And I was like, "Will we see any good fights now?" And this brings us to 479. Who you should pay the most respect to is, I butchered the chapter's name completely, but it's something like that. Who you should show the greatest respect to is. Again, this is a mouthful. But yes, about this chapter, it was a little bit better than the last one. At least there was no free fan service. But again, it was a quick chapter. But it had a good beginning, in my opinion, because we saw Zaref and his army again. And my god, what a massive army! I bet you this army is gonna last longer than the Spring and 12s combined. You believe me. You believe me when I say. And the other guy, I forgot his name, says that they will resume their march over to Fairy Tale again. And we get the official count on how the Spring and 12 are doing. 5 members have been eliminated. So let me think if I can remind myself. So we have Brandish, Di Maria, Volts, Jacob, and Brandish. Yes. So pretty much I was not not Jacob. Jacob is not part of Jacob. With Jacob, it's going to be 6. No, it's got Serena. It's Di Maria, Volts, Brandish, Di Maria, Volts, Brandish, got Serena. Oh Jesus, I forgot. Anyway, there's five defeated, 6 on the way. The 6th one is on the way. And Zaref even states that one was work of acknowledge, but who's counting? He's not worried that his prime god are being defeated like twice. I have an idea on this, but I will leave it until the end of the chapter. So, but his soldiers are not shaken by the fact that 5 of the supreme god of the emperor have been defeated, because as long as they have Zaref himself, there is no chance for anyone. Zaref is going to win no matter what. And once again, Zaref states that he knows how he will deal with Natsu and Mavis, that there's no chance of going back, there's no redemption. This time they're going to die. I really want to see him fulfill this. Well, at least try, because so far this guy has been a lot of talk and a lot of bark and no bite. So, we'll see how this goes. Going back to Fairy Tale, Natsu and Lucy versus Jacob continues. And now it's going back to the old-fashioned punch and kick combo, a 2v1 fight. And Jacob is actually giving them a lot of work. Finally! Ooh! Spark the fireworks and watch them blow up in the sky. And Jacob turns invisible and starts striking them very fast and very furious, no pun intended. But, and it's actually 113 guildmates. I said like 200, but I overshot it a little bit, a tiny bit. And he says that he will personally start to kill them one by one. But Lucy remembers him or tells him that 2 of their allies, or one, she only says one, but there's another one in there, that Brandish is still within its portable dimension. I don't know what that is. And he realizes that, and he releases them. But Lucy finally uses her celestial spirits for doing anything worthwhile. She uses Gemini to make a copy of Brandish's lackey, which I don't remember his name, and he uses his magic to deactivate Jacob's space magic because apparently I didn't remember that this guy's magic actually nullifies space magic. So Jacob's magic being a sort of space magic, and it also nullifies Lucy's magic, but that's enough to bring back the fairy tale members, and here they are. Finally, again, it was too quick. There was no sense of urgency. There was no, how can I say this? There was no despair in this scene. I know Fairy Tail is not a very dark manga, but I believe that this should be the saga to introduce a little bit more of despair, of urgency, make the characters really, really work for what they need to do. Because if they get all like lippity slick, even for me, even Sherry and Wendy fight against the Maria had more despair and more of a sense of urgency than the entire arc of Alvarez. Seriously. And okay, the Maria was transformed into a god, yes. But still, I don't know. Jacob disappointed me a whole lot. I I was not expecting him to be such a disappointment. But yes, he tries to do something again, maybe trying to make them disappear again, but he squishes Effie instead. I don't know how Happy ended up there. I guess maybe she threw him by the looks of it. And now Makarov steps in and he says, "Well, if you say that today is the respect for the aged people, the one you should show the greatest respect is the first, and that's how the chapter name comes into play." And he sends Jacob's flying with his gear third punch. Yes, I know I made a joke. It's not a gear third punch, but you catch my drift. And Mavis is like, well, but I'm only 20, I'm not really that old. And as he punches Jacob, he throws Natsu towards him. And Natsu finishes Jacob off with a an upgraded move, I guess. Blaze Dragon King mode. I don't remember if he had this mode before the 1 year time skip. I actually do not remember. But it's a so powerful and blazing of a mode that it evaporates a lake that's nearby, the lake that's nearby. And even Jacob feels the burn. Oh, I'm sorry about that. And with a new attack, I believe, Blaze Dragon King's Demolition Fist, another mouthful, he completely annihilates Jacob, and not only Jacob, the ground as well, by the looks of it. And Fairy Tail celebrates. Brandish is shocked, I guess. And this is Natsu, this is Fairy Tail, and so ends 479. Next chapter, 418, 80, not 18, sorry, 80 of its name, The Northern Gravestone, is due to come next Monday. I don't know what will happen. I don't know who's up north. Up north is Gadgil's group and all that jazz, isn't it? Gadgil, Gray, Juvia, or no? Yes, I believe so. I believe they are going north to help Leon. Yes, I believe they are going north to help Leon and the rest of the gang. Down south is Erza and Mermaid Hill. East is East is Zerev. West I don't know from the west. No, from the west is Zerev, and from the east is someone else. It was God Serena from the east with Jacob and August. Yes, it were those two, those three. And in the center there is Fairy Tale. The eastern side is pretty much annihilated. August's left. The west side is in full force. The southern forces, uh, there's still another guy there. And the northern forces, we have yet to see what's going to happen with the northern forces. But my friends, I hope you have enjoyed this double review of Fairy Tail. Again, I'm sorry if my opinion was not as you would expect it to be, but these two chapters really didn't live up to the expectations. But I'm still confident Fairy Tail is still a manga that I enjoy a lot, and I'm not gonna stop following it because of that. And coming right up, we have the video of the Seven Deadly Sins. Again, a double review. These two chapters were a bit better than Fairy Tail in my opinion, but I will see you in those two videos.